Hey everybody, what's up? What's up, everybody? It's me, it's your boy. I am here. We're gonna do a little bit. I was gonna do this maybe tomorrow or Monday night, but I said screw it, so I'm doing it now. Um, Let me get my music going. Basically, I'm gonna kind of change it up a little bit. I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm not gonna work on my graphic novel Shangri-La. I'm going to do something totally different and ink this page. So a little background. How you doing, everybody? Background is this. I got some original artwork to ink from a guy named Mark McKenna. You might know Mark McKenna is an inker. He worked with Mike McCone. Mike McKenna and Mike McCone worked together on comics a while back, and this was a time when I really wanted to be an inker. And so he gave me all these sheets of pages to ink, various artists, stuff like that. But I've never really done these. I did a couple, I did some submissions. I think I did this page, a couple things like that. But I had a couple of these Kirby pages. And so I thought, you know what, tonight, instead of doing my normal like comics, why don't I print this out on blue paper and ink Kirby. I don't know much Kirby. I'm a bit of a Kirby newbie, so I'm kind of just gonna go with what I think he would do or what he would want, but I don't have the original. So there you have it. And this is all I have of it. I think it says that this is it Phantom Force? Phantom Force number 5, page 1. Does that make sense to anyone? Phantom Force? I don't know. Maybe not Phantom Force. Give me a comment or a super chat if you really want to know. Okay, so anyway, so here's this. I scanned it just like a couple minutes ago. I then printed on blue line. Now I made a mistake. My mistake is that I made this too dark. So I'm a little bummed out about that. Now I did a Liefeld page too. I got a Liefeld page in there. And this is just right because this is the right level of blues. So this is a little better to ink. This is actually kind of too dark to ink, but I don't want to waste this paper because this paper is expensive. And I said screw it. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this, even though it's kind of dark, a little darker than it probably should be. Hey Hans, what's up, bro? It's early where you are. It's like early morning for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just ink this Kirby page. I'm going to go with my spirit. And if people like it, and I get a lot of people liking this, maybe I'll do the same thing and I'll do this Liefeld of like, is this Shatterstar maybe? Or who's that guy that's in X Force? I think it's Shatterstar. Anyway, we might do him next, but let's do some Kirby. Let's see if we can do the King Jack. Let's also figure out my music because I got to play some music for myself. And it looks like I really wish I could just play music. Is that right? Hans, is Phantom Force Pacific Comics? You know what? That kind of makes sense because I know he did Pacific Comics there for a while, so that makes sense. Thank you for being with us. You are like you're my North Star. You're my true knowledge of wisdom. Let me get my music real quick. Let's go ahead and start it up. You're my North Star. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a big boy, which I highly recommend everyone being, or a big girl. And we're going to use brushes. We're going to use my Series Sable brushes. Hey, Michelle, have you ever seen Jimma Food ink Kirby? Super rad, very much on his own style. You know what? I think I did see a little. Did I see that? I know I've heard it. Sounds familiar. That would be fun. I think I'm going to do what I think I'm not going to do my own style. I think I'm going to try to do what Kirby would want, like I would know. But it would be fun. I mean, I have this. I could always just do it many times and kind of like really go crazy. What I like to do is do it on a lighter. Maybe that's what I'll do with the Shatterstar. Maybe for Shatterstar, I'll like just really go more of a Sienkiewicz kind of thing, which is what I like. Because this like line work that he did in the 90s, it kind of drives me crazy. So, but I like the blockiness of Kirby. And because I don't have the original and I don't really know really what it would look like, it's gonna have my flavor on there because I'm gonna have to make some decisions. I'm gonna have to make some serious decisions on how to do this. Okay, so as you notice, I kept this black because I wasn't gonna like ink the lettering. Screw that. I'm not gonna ink the border, so I'm just gonna do this. So let's just I'm gonna tilt it down a little bit because you don't necessarily need to see the lettering, white star versus dark star. Let's just get going here. And let me just take a minute to look at this and figure out what I want to do. I think I'm going to just go straight with the big brush and just go crazy with it. See what happens. I mean, what's the worst case scenario, right? So I catch a stream. I'm heading back to the drawing table. No work tomorrow, so I can sleep in. That's cool. I'm going to go ahead and use my Winsor Newton. This is a number 4, which is the biggest one I have. I'm usually using 2s and 1s. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use some of this Rapidograph ink I like a lot. So it's super dark, and it's just what the doctor ordered. So I'm going to get my ink going. And I'm gonna brush. I'm just gonna do outlines, and then we'll try to figure some of this stuff out. And I just got one of these like calligraphy nibs, so maybe I'll do some of that for the black stuff. Hey, how you doing there, Hysteria Animations? Nice to see you here. Good to see new faces. I'm a big fan of all that. I'm glad that when I put Kirby in the title, that somehow a couple more people show up. You know, makes sense to me. Okay. So let's see here. And I have not even done anything in a day or two, so I need to. I probably just need to just practice for a second. Here. Let me just see what's going on. Let me just. Okay, let's just get going on this. I mean, again, there's not a lot of pressure here, so we're just gonna have fun with it, hopefully. And I guess I'll keep my glasses on. Okay. You know, he's an interesting cat, this artist, because you think about it like, does he know anything about anatomy? You always think of that like, does this guy know anatomy? Or is it just like he's like beyond anatomy, you know? It's like I'm already kind of nervous about putting this first line down. I shouldn't just go with it, right? Just freaking go with it. I'm just gonna get in on this. We'll see what happens here. I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to pull this off or not. It'd be nice if I had the original comic just to kind of like get a feel of it, but well, I'm doing this for you guys, and I'm kind of testing out the waters of things like this as popular. But I'm also doing this as a way just to learn, and I think this is a kind of a fun exercise. It's a good way to like learn about things, about how he puts lines in, and anytime you get to practice, right, is good, right? So anytime I think you get to draw something, it's always good for just practice. But I like these kind of studies. You know, it's not something I would sell. Although if someone wants this, I could just give it to them, probably. But I think these kind of things are kind of fun to do, and there's some value in it, just as a way to practice and stuff. I draw a lot of like Toth. I'll sit here and I'll just like find a bunch of Toth comics and I'll copy like Zorro pages and things like that. Just I'm a big fan of his. Now, another thing is hard though is sometimes I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, I think that's a sword. That must be his hands. But there's like these balls of like, I guess that's his deltoid, and that's his like trapeze, his tricep, but it's a little tricky. It's like his the anatomy is so tricky. It's like I don't know what the. So we're just gonna like, I'm not gonna Frazetta this. I'm just gonna like just do what he does. Let me smooth it out a little bit. And I could go really thick actually, and I probably should even go thicker because if you think this would be shrunken down a little bit when it was on the original comic page, these lines probably were pretty big, beefy lines. And then it gets a little tricky here. This is where an inker does his job. He tries to figure out what some of these things are. In fact, maybe what I'll do here is get a pencil and just let me sharpen this little guy. Okay, I think I'm just gonna like, just for a second. Sorry about that bump on the table. I think I'm just gonna draw this for a second. I gotta figure out what's going on here. So I'm seeing that's the sword. This is a sword here, right? And that's the point. Okay, this is the point. Okay. And now, so if that's a sword, this is the hand of the right arm. Here's the left arm. It's like a thumb. This is waist, and then, but this is confusing because it looks like I think this needs to be over here like this. I don't know why this hand is over the thigh. It should be in the it should be on the inside, right? Yeah, it's kind of funky. It's a little tricky to figure this out, but I need to, and there's a couple lines here. I mean, this might be a mistake of his or what, I don't know. This is where those guys like Joe Snow and different artists would have to interpret this, which bless their hearts. I don't even understand this myself. I think we're going like something like that. I'm just gonna ignore that line. And I don't know what these like. Maybe he's got like some kind of a belt type of things around his like wrists. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like interpreting a little bit of what's going on. So this is a guy. I got his costume. He's pretty well defined there. I got that part. And I guess this is part of the costume that he's wrapping. Oh, maybe that's, oh wait, okay. This could be an arm. No, I don't know what that is. We're just gonna go with it. Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, this guy's foot here, because he's just been busting him up. And let me just, for my own like sake, I have to like clarify this a little bit. I'm not really sure what this is either. I'm just gonna kind of go with it, make some of this up. If I was more of a Kirby guy, maybe I'd know a little bit more some of this like almost shorthand that he does, you know. And I don't know if he inked this or not when he did these specific comics. One of you guys might be able to tell me. So I don't know about that. And then I'm assuming these are some sort of like horn things. We'll just go like that, I guess. Okay. Okay, so that helps a little bit. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. And then there's this guy here. Okay. And then let me just. and we'll do that. Okay, good. Every now and then, I just gotta like put a little bit of like stuff. And let me actually. I want a nice clean line on that. So let me get my little pen. I like these. I bought this set of these. I don't know how to say these in English. Is it Faber-Castell? Faber-Castell? I don't know if it's like French or what, but I got these different ones. There's like a set of like a chisel and a brush and different like things. But I like these a lot. And what's nice is you can refill these. So you can refill these little felt guys. And I don't know, they're just like simple little guys. And so I do these for stuff that I just need just a nice line for. So I'm just going to put this in for the shield. Yeah, I want to get more into Kirby. I've read the Fantastic Four stuff. I really like the Howling Commandos. Or was it Howling Commandos? I think Howling Commandos. Some of the war stuff. Maybe it's just war comics or Sergeant Rock, something like that. I like that a lot. But I'm not like the guy who knows Kirby at all. It's just not my. I'm too young for when it came out, and then now that it's just other stuff. I mean, when I was a kid, I was Jim Lee. I was all about Jim Lee and McFarlane, and I was I was the Image dude, like fanboy. That was my world. And then when I grew up, I got into like Sienkiewicz and Kyle Baker and those guys, get that tip right. Okay, let's go back to what we're doing here. This art. I kind of want to just get this outline going. It would be fun to see that Jim Food Kirby. Now that you mention that, though, that sounds kind of fun. This brush. I'm gonna have to look for that. I think he had a podcast, or he was on some kind of a YouTube channel, like the Ink Boys or the Ink somethings. Shoot, I don't know. I really like the music he plays. He has a like a radio kind of like podcast where he does music. I listen to his music a lot, actually, because I like that kind of funk and hip hop and stuff. Okay. Yeah, if this blue was lighter, I think it would just be so much cooler. So, unfortunately, it's not. What can you do? This is actually kind of fun, though. I'm liking this. This would be kind of fun to like put on the wall somewhere for a couple of weeks or something. This black on. My job as the inker is to really create clarity, and for somebody like him, where there's these just very powerful positions, but sometimes it can be a little confusing with everything going on. It's not an easy chore, but that's what my goal will be here tonight, is to make sure it's clear. And I made a mistake there, darn it. Yeah, Michelle, I think it was like a Hellboy or something that I saw, or no, it was like, I think I saw him do like a Kevin Nolan Hulk. Is that right? Yeah, it sounds familiar, like some kind of ink podcast or something. I don't know. YouTube channel. Okay. Yeah, the Hulk one. Yeah, I just saw a bits of it. I don't have the attention span to like be there the whole time, but I do. I was like, oh, that's cool. One of the problems I have with inking is, and if you've seen me on my channel any other times, I will bust my freaking hand all up in ink. I do it all the time. I should be inking. I'm left-handed, so I should always be inking from that side this way, and I don't. And I always mess myself up, like, constantly. So I'm gonna try to not smear ink everywhere. And luckily, this ink dries quick with a brush, so should be okay. And this is nice paper, so it should be okay. Should be okay. There's these variations in his lines. It's kind of a squiggliness to it, and I'm kind of ignoring that, and I'm making it kind of that, like, that metallic kind of armor he always puts on people. But I'm wondering what the original was like, because I would like to see, because I wonder if he really is kind of creating this kind of a varied line there or not, because I'm ignoring it. But I don't know if that's like, he's getting older and he's getting kind of shaky, or that's like that's what's going on. Okay. Tomorrow I'm going to read comics. Sunday's my, like, read comic day. And so tomorrow I'm going to read, what am I going to read? I got some manga I'm going to read. I might do some more Prince Valiant. I've been loving Prince Valiant. So I'm going to do a video. I want to shoot a video of Prince Valiant either tomorrow or Monday. So probably Monday. So I need to, like, read a little bit more Prince Valiant. And then I got a bunch of floppies. Like I got like 2 short boxes full of stuff. So I might just grab a couple short boxes and read a couple from there. But I'm kind of looking forward to reading some comics. I really enjoy Sundays to just read and catch up on stuff. I'm a freaking fan of this stuff. I like doing it. It's fun. Okay. East of West. Yeah, man. Oh, dude, Parker's great. Yeah, I haven't read much Alex Raymond. I know of him. I know Alex Raymond, but I haven't read much of his stuff. I need to. I think I've read some stuff he did in, like, Eerie or Creepy, or maybe it was even EC. Although I think he was Creepy and Eerie. I'm not sure. Darwin Cook. Going back to what you said, Michelle. Darwin Cook is great. You got to read. New Frontier, but the Parker stuff is wonderful crime comics. Love that stuff. And I like East of West. I like the art, and I like Hickman, so I like that kind of story. This kind of Western, Western science fiction apocalyptic deal. It's fun. I like genre bending stuff. Like the book I did, Pariah, was horror Western. So I like that kind of thing deal. Okay. Yeah, I think New Frontier it's good stuff, man. It is good stuff. They came out with a little animated version of it, and I never saw it. I was going to, but I didn't see it, and I probably should, because it probably be good. I don't know if it was Bruce Timm or not. But yeah, the comic was really good. He was just he's one of these guys that elevates the art form, right? He did a series too. He did like a 12 issues of of Spirit. Will Eisner's The Spirit. He did that. I think it was DC as well. Really good. So I would recommend hunting those down. I actually got those, and I bound them in like my own like hardcover. But they might have came out with a trade of those Spirits by Darwin Cook. Very good stuff. Not a huge Spirit fan, but again, with Darwin Cook, he can do freaking, Flaming Carrot, and I'd get it. So I made that up. If you're a Flaming Carrot fan, I apologize. Okay. I kind of don't like what it did there. Should fix that. Okay. I'm wondering if I should. Maybe I should use a different brush for. Screw it. Okay. Yeah, I'm using a different brush for some of those guys. And I kind of want to also play with this little nib I have. Yeah, I don't like the way that width right there goes. Okay, let me. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, Bruce Timm is wonderful. Big fan of his work, of course. He did animation. Did they work together? Did they work together in that Justice League show that Bruce Timm did that I love? Justice League International or United or whatever the hell it's called. Did Bruce Timm work? Because he did work for animation at one point, but I don't remember. I don't remember what the credits were as far as what he did in animation. If he did like any DC stuff, I think it wasn't, but I don't know for sure. I don't remember. Okay, let me switch tools and let me see here. Let me think about this for a second. I really want to play with this because I don't know this, so we're just gonna kind of experiment. Oh, he did work on Batman? Yeah, okay. I didn't know if he did Batman or not. I thought he did character. Was he the one that did character designs, or was it Mignola? Maybe it was Yeah, I think it was Mignola. Mike Mignola did like Mr. Freeze. He did a couple character designs, I think, for it. I remember hearing about that somewhere. Okay, so this seems like a fun little tool that I think might work well with this guy. So why don't we play with it and see what happens? Again, I don't really know much about it, so I'm just gonna start with easy stuff and just kind of like. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I might maybe just use a brush. Yeah, I should just use a brush on that. I'm gonna rotate this around a little bit. So he does this weird little squiggly thing. I'm not sure what he's using for that. This little thing. I don't know if he's just using a weird brush or what. I mean, just kind of like, yeah, it's not this. I always wondered how he did this weird little like squiggly line. Um, hmm. I'm gonna kind of just go like this, even though it's kind of bulby. I'm gonna do this anyway. It's kind of like. Yeah, see, I think it works okay for this kind of stuff when you're just doing those like almost like a marker. You know, he maybe used markers for some of this. I don't know, or maybe his brush. There's probably a video somewhere of him doing it. I could probably just find out in about 2 seconds instead of like guessing, hypothesizing. Yeah, 'cause some of these the ends I don't really like the way the little tips of that. I'm not a fan of. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm not gonna get any of that wet. Looks dry. Okay. I don't know. I definitely need to practice with this thing. Kind of figure out how to work this best. Yeah, like I put a buttload of ink just now. That was a little too much for my. Didn't want to do that. Oh, be careful. Be careful. Adding a little extra here. There we go. Toth Kirby on Thundar. Oh yeah, the two legends, two masters that got effed by the industry. Always happens. The best ones like Wells and Jodorowsky. Yeah, can't disagree with any of that you're saying. Yeah, Toth did. I'm a huge fan of Thundar the Barbarian. When that came out, I was a kid. Yeah, huge fan. So would have really been neat to see that kind of go the way they were originally planning. Yeah, big fan of that stuff. If he would have got the respect he wanted, which Toth wanted a lot, if he would have got the respect he wanted, he could have really worked for and did some amazing comic books. He loved comics, but just the industry, he was just so damn curmudgeon, and he just didn't get the right type of people to work with him. But yeah, he'd have been one of the best ever. I mean, without a doubt. There's no doubt in any of that. Maybe that's what I should do for this brush. That. Yeah, he just never. He couldn't find people that gels with. I mean, even the stuff on Zorro, which I love his stuff on Zorro, and he hated it towards the end. He hated it. It was such a sour taste in his mouth, and I think it's some of the best stuff. I think his Zorro stuff is great, especially the gray tones in there and stuff. Huge fan of all that. I don't know if this works or not. I might just black it all, but I don't know. We're going to do it, and then we'll make a decision. Executive call. Yeah, Zorro's great, dude. Zorro's great. But yeah, I was sad to hear that he did not like the way it ended up. I wish he could have done more of that Bravo stuff, that would have been nice. I think that seemed to be his wheelhouse. That seemed to be something he was really passionate about. So that was a bit of a shame that he wasn't able to really capitalize on that. But it is what it is. He is one of the greats, for sure. Huh. I'm kind of liking this. This is different. There's definitely like a certain way to hold this thing, but I kind of like it. I'm not sure yet. I feel like you can't use it for everything though. I feel like I'm gonna wind up screwing this up here in a little bit if I keep using this. So I'm probably gonna switch it out in a minute once I. Oh, I kind of like the way it does blocks. It's kind of fun. I'm really excited about next week because next week, every day next week, I'm doing a video on Keith Giffen. And if you don't know Keith Giffen, my friends, you're going to by next week. Because I devote 5 freaking episodes to him, and I'm really excited. He's one of my favorites. He just has a million styles and different things he does. I'm a fan. So that'll be cool. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like the way it does that into that foot. It almost kind of simulates a brush a little bit. Okay, that's kind of fun. I'm almost out of ink with this. So other than Toth and Cook and everything, is there anybody watching anything good that I should be aware of? I've been watching a lot of films, so I've been actually doing a lot of foreign films, like French, some German films, different stuff. But I'm curious if there's anything I started to watch another Lars von Trier, and I just can't do it. I like Lars von Trier a lot, but gosh, I forgot what it was called. I think this is his first film back in the day. It was all like sepia toned, but I was like, you know what? I can't do it. I just don't have it in my emotional piggy bank to deal with him tonight. So I turned it off. But yeah, let me know if there's any good TV shows or anything going on that I should be or movies I never saw Wonder Woman. That Wonder Woman 84. I'm actually not a big fan of superhero movies. Kind of weird like that, I guess, but I don't like superhero movies that much, so I don't really have too much interest. But I'm willing to be swayed. Okay, let's go to my normal ink here. Just watched Tenet tonight. Would recommend. Oh, I don't know Tenet. Should I use a blah blah blah? I'll just use this. Screw it. Phase 4, Sal Boss, only film. Oh, that sounds good. Sal Boss, isn't that the? No, I'm thinking of Rank. Wait a minute, Boss. Is that the guy who did the Hobbit animated, or am I thinking of Rankin and Boss? Am I thinking of someone totally different? Am I thinking of like another person? I think I might be. I get some of the Saul Boss though sounds really familiar. Come on, Salazar. That's okay. It's not bad. It's not a bad little line there. Not horrible. Not really sure what these little antlers are, but we'll just. Chris Nolan film, guy who did The Dark Knight. Oh, I know Chris Nolan. So Tenet is stick to superhero comics. Yeah, that's what I'm all about. I'll have to see Tenet then. Is it? I'm assuming it's somewhere online streaming and something. I'll have to check it out. I'm a big fan of Nolan. I really liked actually, despite my previous comment, I really do like Dark Knight and some of his stuff that he's done. I liked Memento. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he did Memento and Insomniac and some of those other films originally back in the day. And yeah, I'm a fan of his work. Movie about time. A movie about time. I like that. I think movies are all about like memory, time, all these kind of ethereal concept, perception, all these things that we kind of like deal with. I kind of like those things. Like there's this great movie. There's been a great movie about time travel stuff, like Time Crimes and Primer and Memory, of course, like Memento, and I like all that kind of stuff. It's kind of fun. Okay, so now we're just doing kind of a little more detailed stuff, a little more like delicate lines, we'll say. And I'm gonna not do this because I'm getting all getting wet stuff going on. So I'm gonna chill my butt out. Hey, it's good to have 7 people here. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for joining the channel. Super chats are available and open, and I'm glad that you guys are here because it's nice to have a couple people. Maybe the Inking Jack Kirby brought a few folks, and that's kind of cool. So thanks for hanging out. My channel is mostly me talking about comics and kind of reviews and analysis of certain books. But every now and then in the late evenings for me on the Pacific time, we do some live drawing stuff. And this is kind of like the second of an inking thing. I did an inking one of how to ink like a week or so ago, and then I thought, maybe we'll just do some like actual more inking, but instead of my stuff, you'll see someone who's like really good. Like, why don't we ink someone who's like really good? That way you're not judging the inks by the crappy pencilers. That's what professionals used to tell me when I was submitting stuff. They said, you know what? Don't ink your stuff. You have to ink the best guys so that they see your inking and they don't judge you for the bad pencils. So that's why McKenna gave me all these different artists, because they said when you do your portfolio for inking, you gotta like be inking like real people. So, and I'm still kind of rusty. I'm gonna get my big head in here. Sorry. I should use a different brush for this. I probably will. Okay. F for fake. Oh yeah. F for fake is pretty good, dude. F for fake. I saw that like when did I see that? I saw that just like a year ago or so. It was on Netflix, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's always fun. It's always interesting to see some of these guys like Wells and Hitchcock. When they go into color, I feel like everything changes. Like when they're in when they start doing stuff in the 70s, late 60s and 70s, it feels like a totally different person. And I wonder if it's just the aesthetic. It's also the times, because now they can like show nudity and they can get a little more mature on the subject matter. But it feels very different when you look at like some of these auteur filmmakers when they start out in the 50s, and then they go and by the time they're older, in the 70s, it feels like some of the stuff is, I hate to say it, but sometimes it's not as good. I mean, it's hard to do a masterpiece, and then it's hard to do more than one masterpiece, right? It's like, you know, uh, doing Citizen Kane is like a freaking triumph. You expect to do more than one of those, it's like so many people, how many bands, they only could do one great album, it's like, dude, you're asking for a lot here. I'm going really slow too. I should speed this up. Just kind of get bouncing on this. Kind of goofing around. Jibber jabbing. Oh, that was a mistake. Darn it. Yeah, I don't know what this is here. So, I don't know. I'm still jury's still out on this, on how to do this. If I'm gonna keep this all black or not. Oh, dude. First casualty. The big blot of death. And dang it. It's okay. I will overcome. I will not let that get me down. I will white out the F out of that. So it's okay. Some of the funnest things in comics, looking at original art, is seeing all the screw ups and seeing all the times that people white out crap. So if you ever seen any of these original, like, Frank Miller pages or something, you'll see like tons of like corrections. Guess what? That's going to be one. It's okay though. I'll try not to let it get to me. Okay, let's zip over here for a moment. And let's clean this up. And I don't know what this is. I gotta look at the original black and white and see what the heck that is. Okay. Just finished a page and one guy's hair is almost entirely white out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. Hey, Kingdom Comics, what's up? Yeah, dude. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Well, I actually have a couple pages of some original art because I used to collect it. And they just like, they have like, it's like a sticker over a full panel. Like they just redrew that mofo. And so I was like, okay, yeah, just like screw it. Luckily now with digital, we would just just redo it digitally or just slap in and layer it, right? But hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little bit of corrective fluid. And part of it is I'm just like dipping my nib like wild man, like I just did just now. So I need to chill my ass out. I'm getting a little too crazy here. Okay, these are knees, I'm assuming. So let me do these little knees. Sometimes I have no idea where Kirby got these ideas for like the costuming and these weird metal like rings. I just don't even understand it. Like, where does he come up with this stuff? Was his father a machine worker or something? Like, where did he come up with these like ideas? Just so wild. I am kind of going my own a little bit on it. Okay. Now we've got some sort of like land mass here. Some shadowing. I think we'll keep this brush. I kind of liked it with the brush, so maybe we'll just keep that there like that. Although now I'm going to do some. Let me see if I can pull it off. Yeah, we could do that. I think that's good, although you're definitely in the zone. Yeah, thanks. I don't know if I'm in the zone or not, but I'm doing it. Okay. This guy looks like Orion, too. I don't know if that's... I mean, it's not because it's not a DC comic, but definitely has some of the same costuming deal going on. Hang on. Slow down. Okay. Is this dry? Hey, look. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Okay. So foot action. I do like, I'm doing this and I'm like just kind of like looking to see how he does things, and I really do like, making that crack about anatomy. But I don't know, it is pretty cool, man. It is this kind of cool, weird, bigger than life. Doesn't really make sense. But I like his big blocky hands, and I like the big feet and the legs and the tree trunk thighs and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of cool, actually. It's kind of neat. And I feel like he kind of just created this all himself. This whole like, style. And now you guys might know there's like a bunch of imitators, but I don't know of any imitators. Maybe there were, but I don't feel like it wasn't like I feel like there was a style that he did that like suddenly everyone was doing. It wasn't like Buscema or some of these other guys. I feel like he kind of did his own deal, and not many people could ape it. But you know what? I could totally be wrong. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. So if I'm talking out my butt, and then sorry about that. Yeah, that's very true. He does do a lot of abstract. It is very like, I mean, he's not looking up models, right? For this stuff. This is not Alex Ross, where it's like an illustration. He's not illustration. I would say this is not at all. Not like a lot of the other artists. Like Sienkiewicz is a lot of illustration is in there. A lot of those guys. We Noel Sickles, Toth, all these guys, a lot of illustration in here, but this guy, he's just like all id and feeling and abstract and, and shapes, and this shape represents a deltoid and this shape represents a this and that. And it's like, it's not really reflected in any sort of like reality or an anatomy based stuff. He just kind of did it. But I think he was just so different and fresh at the time. I mean, I can only imagine what the editor said when they saw the guy. And they're like, "What the hell is this stuff?" But it's like cool. And yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. We're gonna have to fix that. Maybe just blacken it out. When in doubt, just black that mofo. In fact, let me get my little blacky guy here. That didn't sound right, probably. Okay. Yeah, I like Buscema a lot. I like Sal Buscema. I like both of them actually, John and Sal. I like, who else I like is Kubert. I like Kubert. I need to get some Kubert. That's what I need to do. That would be a good thing to do. Let's get some Kubert. Okay. I don't know what to do with these little guys because they're these little blobs, and I feel like I'm just not sure. Maybe it's blood. I mean, this could be like maybe that's like blood, and this is his armor being ripped off, and this is like his skin. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with it. So I'm gonna just do what I think. First, let's just get rid of this. I'm not going to waste my ink on this crap. Like, my ink is expensive. I'm not going to waste it on this. Just going to freaking marker this real quick. Let's fill this in. Sometimes I just like to get the blacks in there just because it makes me feel like, okay, kind of coming together more. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. But it's nice just to spot all the big black chunks. In fact, yeah, I don't know about that. And I don't, now that I think about it, I'm not sure I like this. I don't know. I might keep it. Yeah, I was wondering about those adventurous blobs that we're going to cross. Yeah, I don't know what these are. I really don't. I mean, I could just not do it. I mean, he's not going to know. No one's going to be mad at me if I don't do it. So I don't know. I'm like, not sure what to do with it. Let me just use this. By the way, this is another little fun tool. I like this a lot. This is called a Pinto Stylo. It's kind of like a flexi, like a fountain. You know, it's got like a flex nib a bit. Not super flexy, but it's actually kind of fun. I got these because of, I think it was Howard Chaykin uses these, and he turned me on to these guys. But I do like them. And you can buy them for a box, not too bad. I use them just for some stuff. And I don't want to use a brush or whatever, or a tech pen or a repeatograph. I got to clean up. There's a lot of little bits here I got to clean up with some white out to make that nice. So we'll got to clean up this whole belt business. I was using that nib. It was a little bit too much power for me. Okay. And this is actually kind of a nice tool for like doing hem, since we're kind of in that small, tight spot. I can just sit here. Let me take it. Yeah, Toth also used these guys. Where's my writer? It's called a writer. The Pinto writers. Anyway, yeah, I got a box of those too somewhere. They're kind of fun. They don't have. He used writers to do his lettering. He's actually on Facebook spoke to his brother, or not his brother, excuse me, his son. His name's Eric, one of his son, and he said that basically Toth used whatever he could. He was just like whatever he freaking grabbed, he'd use it. But yeah, he definitely used Pentelis. He used the whole freaking caboodle. I mean, you get to a point where you just like, and I don't have his proficiency clearly, but I am of that same thought that, hey, you know what? Just freaking whatever tool, man, whatever freaking makes a mark, go for it. Look, I'm using a damn Sharpie, so that's like sacrilegious because I was using a brush before. But you know what? Screw it. Just whatever. So know your tools, love your tools, but don't be enslaved. Okay, I'm gonna go back to brush because I'm gonna do these. I don't know what. I'm just gonna do it. Damn it. I think digital will help my traditional skills improve because I won't have anxiety of worrying about written page. Oh, well, that's true. I think that is true. I think that also can be a crutch in a way because there's always that like delete. So there's that, like, oh, I'll just Control Z that. But generally, I think that is a good thing, that, you know, you shouldn't have this kind of anxiety about it. Now, what I'm doing, I'm just doing this. I'm following the kind of positioning of those blobs because the penciler wants them there, but I'm not following the shape because I don't know what the hell those are. And so I'm just going to do this. And so I could then say to the penciler, if this was a real job, hey, don't bust my balls. I do what you want, you know? So I feel like if this was like a real job, that's what I would do. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to try to be faithful to what he wants, even though I don't know what the F he's doing. Because, of course, nowadays we'd get my freaking phone call, right? Be like, hey, man, I'm working on that page. What the hell are you doing? But it could be, this could be like wounds. I wouldn't be surprised because now that I think about it, this could be like blood or something. It's my thought. This is actually pretty fun though. I'm glad we're doing this. I really now want to do the Shatterstar, but I think I'm gonna like do it in brush or something completely bizarre because I don't want to use these damn little repeated graphs or whatever he's doing for that. I want to like, I love you, Rob, but I ain't drawing that. So I think that'll be fun. Maybe we'll do that next week. Fun thing to do. Or the week after. Just like, I don't know what I'll call the video. It'll be like Rob Liefeld, Salazar style or something. My style. Okay. Some of these are a little thick right there, but it's okay. Brush is so much quicker, it really is. And it's just like, and I really like brush a lot. And I'm saying that, realizing that like a lot of the book I'm doing is not on with brush. And that kind of like, now I'm feeling maybe I should do more brush on it. It's just, I don't know, it's got a cool look to it. I like the look. I feel more like I know it sounds cheesy, but I feel more like an artist in a way using brush. Like it's more of a old school, work. That sounds kind of dumb, but okay. That looks pretty good, actually. I kind of like that. Okay, what time is it? What are we doing? We're doing good on time. It's 10. I'd go for another maybe 20 minutes. I think. Or maybe until we dipped in. We got 8 people here, which is like the most ever. So, hell, dude, we got to go. Let's go till midnight. 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Can't stop now. The masses have called for the king. They want Jack. Must deliver. So we'll see. Okay, let's keep going. No idea what that is. Okay, this is okay. He's just putting like blades of grass in the body. Is what he's doing. So it's like, okay, why don't I fix my brush here? I can do that. Maybe I'll put a couple extra. I'll kind of be a little creative license here on this. Hopefully they don't mind. A couple more. And this is shadow. So this is again where you're like you get a little confused. Okay, this is this. So here's the mask, I think. And then maybe this is just a shadow. Okay, these are horns. Maybe this is just a shadow. It's really kind of tricky to tell, to be honest. And maybe it doesn't really matter as long as it's black. Oh, yes, I do have some Winsor McKay. Should we talk about that? I have one of the books. Um, I don't remember who put them out, but I have one book of his. I really like it. I like to talk about it. It's actually on my list of ones to do. And I know it might be a little controversial for some, but you know what I say? F all you people. We need to talk about it because it was very important in the time. It was influential on a lot of different creators, and it's great work. And so, yeah, there's some, like, racial stereotypes and like things of that era. But guess what? We need to talk about it. So, okay, I'm glad you said that. I'll put that on my to do for Winsor McKay because I really do like it. In fact, I like it so much I want to get some more of those books. They're like little hardcover like albums. I think they're like almost like the European like album type. But I really liked them a lot, and I felt that it was um, definitely worthy of discussion. So thanks for that suggestion. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it, brother. We'll talk about it. Windsor, Windsor McKay. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. I mean, some all that stuff back then is like problematic, right? When you have like these like slave, coonery type of characters, right? The Amos and Andy type stuff and the slave stuff, and it's like it's problematic. It's not cool no more. I get it. I totally get it. Um, but I do think art is something that is important to talk about, and that's the whole point of the channel, so we got to discuss it. And I always feel like the time is. I'm one of the type of guys who believe that your the art's reflective of the time, and the artist is, and so you got to kind of like factor all those things in. That's the way I always believe. You got to factor in all that kind of stuff. You know, that's my take on it. Not everyone feels that way, and that's cool. We all can agree. Okay. Well, we're getting there. Okay, some of this I need to use my little pen for, I think. Let me do some more of these little blades of grass. Oh yeah, Sally Ford. So I have Wally Wood. I just have a Canon that I reviewed a while back. I don't have Sally Forth, but my gosh, could Wally Wood draw women? And Canon was pretty hardcore. It was like boobs on every other page. So I would be interested in Sally Forth to see if the tone is similar at all. I think that's more of like a crime noir, right? Um, yeah, I need to. I don't have any of it, so that's a book I gotta go buy. I gotta go get that. So unless someone's gonna gift it to me, I need to. I need to go buy Sally Ford and go check that out. But I would like to. I think Wally Wood. I only did one video, and that was because that's all I have of his. But I really learned a lot when I studied that book, Canon, and I'd like to get some more of it. Yeah, I'm a fan of that guy. Shame he died young. I think it was in his early 50s or so. Alcoholism, I think. I think he just kind of like did himself in. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. Let me. Okay, we're gonna. Let me just at least do this guy before we call it here. Okay, we need to do some cleanup on here. I need to do him. Okay. Do you have seen Don Lawrence comics? How do you get most of German Dutch? No. Don Lawrence comics. No, I haven't. I haven't checked that out. I don't know that one. It sounds like it's American because you said you can't get it in German. Sometimes it's fun just to block a bunch of freaking black. Okay. I think we're gonna call it. It's about. I got a few more things to do tonight, but actually, let's take a look at this for a second. That's kind of cool. I thought that was kind of neat. It's kind of fun. Yeah. So thanks for watching. I might do a little bit more of this, maybe share it somewhere, or maybe I'll finish it up on another video. That actually would be kind of nice, and then have like a finished piece for people and show it somewhere. But thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, Hans, Michelle, Kingdom Comics, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night, and see you guys next time on the channel. I guess next video will be Tuesday and Saturdays. Thanks, guys. Bye.